Sorry, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Boss Babe Business Show. I am your host, Katan Paul, also the founder of BossBabeBlog.com. And this evening, we're going to be sharing some entrepreneurship mindset tips. And I'm also going to be shouting out the sponsors of our show to say thank you so much for sponsoring the production. So first, I'll start off by making sure that my Instagram fam is good to go. And then we will go ahead and move into having a great conversation this evening. So let's start off by just shouting out the wonderful sponsors that made a contribution to our show. If you decide you would like to become a sponsor, currently, right now, you can become a sponsor at $40 or $50, depending on your choice. And you can also have your brand advertised on our show and shout it out 40 times throughout the year. So I want to first start off by shouting out the sponsors who we have not yet received their information, but I still want to shout them out and say thank you. So thank you and shout out to Shanika. Thank you and shout out to Ashley S., Deidre P. Shout out to all of you, and Becky L. A shout out to you all. I appreciate you. Now let's move into the sponsors where I already have their information. We're going to start off with JC Fashion Finds Boutique. So this is our first sponsor, and the QR code at the bottom right of the screen will take you directly to their website. They also have their social media. So this is a boutique that specializes in apparel and accessories for women. They currently right now have thrifted picks, and they have brand new items that you can purchase from their website as well. The maroon set that I wore on my other show actually came from their boutique. So they have another plus size set available in 1X, 2X, and 3X. And you can shop them, JC Fashion Finds Boutique, with the QR code at the bottom right of the screen. Thank you so much. The next brand or the next sponsor that we are shouting out is actually Hootstop.com, and they have a video ad that they submitted. So let's bring it on.
Hoot hoot, welcome to Hootstop.com, where wellness meets design. Shop our services today for your home, office, or studio needs, as we can create anything that you envision. Hit our custom consultation and schedule an appointment today, or fill out the ad form and we'll get that started for you immediately. If you're looking for design, it's what we do here at Hootstop.com. Come and visit us. We'll see you soon. But if you can't wait, subscribe to our YouTube channel and see the artwork being made from scratch, behind the sketchbook scenes. Talk directly with me, the artist, then we do it digital, and then you already know it's getting printed on something. So start at the beginning and work your way to Hootstop.com. From YouTube to Hootstop. We got you.
Okay, thank you very much, and shout out to Hootstop.com. We appreciate you. Now, the next sponsor that I am shouting out is actually Charlie Shops. So Charlie Shops provides custom gift baskets. Some of them are already pre-made, and some of them you can have created for yourself. So this says holidays, birthday parties, holidays, birthdays, parties, and couples. So you can get custom gift baskets created. You're going to text 757-842-0556 in order to order your basket. Tell her about the size of the basket that you need and what the occasion is for, and you will receive a free quote. Thank you, Charlie Shops, for being a sponsor. The next sponsor that we are listing was actually a sponsorship that was gifted. Hello, happy Thursday, right on time. So we actually had MJ who decided to purchase some items for herself, as well as, I know, right? I loved her promo video too. If you guys need promo videos for your business, Hootstop.com is a verified business list in our directory, and she will take care of you. Shout out to Hootstop. Okay, so the next business that we have listed was actually gifted from another sponsor. So they decided they want to travel with MJ.net to be this sponsor, to say thank you and give back. So travelwithmj.net, we do the heavy lifting so you can travel light. If you are looking for a travel professional, she happens to be on this live as we're speaking, but you can head on over to travelwithmj.net and you can book a one-on-one consult to discuss her services to make sure that you guys are the right fit based off of your expectations, what you're seeking, as well as what her expectations are for her travel clients, because she wants nothing but the best. And if you are just having a couple questions or you're just curious and you want to look around on the site on your own, go to travelwithmj.net. She's a verified travel advisor, and she is verified in our directory, but she's also been a seller in our community for quite some time now, multiple years. So thank you very much, Travel with MJ. We appreciate you. And let's move on to our next awesome sponsor this evening. So the next sponsor that we are shouting out is going to be Bling with Shell. So thank you, Bling with Shell. This is a nationwide jewelry provider. Her website is attached to this flyer. However, you can also use the QR code and it will take you directly to her website if you want to shop. Screenshot this flyer and then just take the QR code and go on there whenever you're ready to shop. Most of these flyers will have either a QR code, a website, or a phone number available for you, just depending on, the industry. But shout out to Bling with Shell. We love her. She has so many. Oh, thank you. She has so many amazing jewelry pieces. I'm actually wearing Bling with Shell this evening. So I have one handmade jewelry bracelet, and then I have her. It's like a Texas themed charm bracelet. And I don't normally do charm bracelets, but ever since Bling with Shell, I've been on these charm bracelets. So I'll show y'all that in just a second. But thank you so much, and shout out Bling with Shell. We appreciate you. We appreciate and love all of our sponsors. Let's move on to the next sponsor this evening. And that is, let's see. And we will go back and shout out all our sponsors again later on this evening. The next sponsor is EliteHair.net. So EliteHair.net is a DFW, Texas hair braider, and they actually had a vendor table at our previous event. They're verified in our shopping directory. So if you were in the DFW, Texas, Dallas area, and you are looking for someone to get your hair braided with quality, you want to check out EliteHair.net and go ahead and inquire and see if this is the right place for you. All right. So that is our next sponsor. Our next one is going to be MJ's Tees and Custom Designs. So MJ's Tees and Custom Designs.com, aka 229-234-2741 is where you can go if you want business swag apparel, custom apparel, and seasonal apparel. Here's just a quick little preview of how you can build your own business swag bundle. So you can get a logo tee, you can have a long sleeve logo tee, you can have a sweatshirt, you can have a actual beanie with your logo on it, but these are just some of the customizable options that are available through MJ's Tees and Custom Designs.com. All right, moving on to our next sponsor is actually Jenkins Tax Pro Software. So Jenkins Tax Pro Software, if there's anyone out there that is seeking a tax professional or someone, oh, thank you, or someone that is in the tax industry, this is the ad that was submitted through Jenkins Pro Tax Software. So let's get a little closer so we can read this. Let's see, why choose Jenkins Pro Tax Software? It's built for seasonal EFIN holders, affordable without compromising quality, fair, accurate, and user-friendly, excellent support when you need it the most. And then you can contact at 615-796-6050. The email is also available there as well. And like I said with the rest of the flyers, screenshot this if you would like to, so you can have this to come back. All right. So tonight's show, we have a few important updates, and then we're doing a special version of the Boss Babe Business Show. The first update that I want to share, well, first let me get this off so you guys can see me, because I am not on the screen. There we go. Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much for the feedback, MJ. I appreciate you, and happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you're watching from a different platform like Instagram and Facebook, we appreciate you. Come on over to YouTube if you'd like to be a part of the conversation. You are always welcome. Okay, hold on a second. Let's make sure that Boss Babe blog is nice and visible. We got to have our Boss Babe blog flyer in the back, or else what we're doing, or else it's not the Boss Babe Business Show, right? Okay, so that should work. Okay. All right, everyone. So tonight we do have some important topics that I want to discuss because I feel like there's some entrepreneurs out here that might need to hear this message. Number one. Number two, I'm actually sharing updates this evening and events. So the first update that I want to share is that there is now a button at the top of the website. We are testing out a couple of changes on our website to make it user-friendly for our members, but also make it user-friendly for our shoppers. So you will continue to see more updates as we are moving our events page, most likely to the front of the website. And there will be a section where you'll be able to access all of our events, information about our directory, what it is that we do, just to make it easier for our shoppers who don't know anything about Boss Babe Blog but want to learn more about our community. And then we will also have we have our directory membership benefits page where you can go and see your benefits. So If you go to bossbayblog.com, at the top right of the screen, there's going to be a pink button that says portal. If you have not already seen it, and it's going to take you to the portal login page. If you already have access to the portal, then you just click login. It'll take you straight there. If you do not already have access to our portal, whether you are a business owner or a shopper, you can fill out the form and then you can receive access to it. You'll have an account or profile created for you at $0. So it is a free business resource, and it basically connects you with all of our events, all of our resources, anything that we might have going on in our community at the time. So that's the first one. The next one is we have multiple events coming up in Dallas, Texas, but also outside of Texas. So if you're someone that is nationwide, you're a nationwide shopper, supporter, member, you want to also pay attention to these events that I'll be listing off. Now, let's get straight into the conversation of the evening. Really, it's more of like the tips I'm sharing, but it can turn into a conversation if there's something that you feel is on your heart as you're listening, or if there's something that really resonates with you. Let me fix my back, make sure my posture is right. Okay. Oh, and before we do that, I also have to shout out the wonderful small businesses that I am representing this evening. So I want to first start off with Carlita Cosmetics. I'm actually wearing her lipstick that this shade stays on forever. Okay, not forever, but almost forever. Like you could drink water. I've drank water. I've eaten food with oils in it, and it's still there. And it looks great. So this is P. Buckner. That's the color of the lipstick, or the name of the color. And this is Carlita Cosmetics. It comes with a lip gloss part, but you don't have to use a lip gloss. I don't have a lip gloss on right now. So it's very much like a matte. Yes. Okay, we see you, period. Yes, P. Buckner. That's the name. The next brand that I'm shouting out is actually Nails by Fair for a couple of reasons. So these are actually my Valentine's Day nails. All I did was just clean them and then prepare to reapply them, but my hands had a little bit of oil on them, so hopefully they'll stay on without any issues tonight. She actually gives you instructions on how to clean and how to apply your nails and stuff and prep them, so it's in there. But these are my Valentine's Day nails, and I just love them. And there's so many. When you get a set, this is how many come in the set. So it's like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So about 20 to 24 nails, I think. 20 to be on the safe side, but it's quite a bit. So you can wear this, 2 sets of nails, and you can wear them for different occasions. So here are my Mardi Gras themed nails, and these were my Valentine's Day nails. As you can see, I still have some that are left over. And the cool thing about her press-on nails is that you can actually mix and match them, and I love that. So after I finish, rocking these to death, these Valentine's Day heart-shaped press-on nails, I'm actually going to mix and match my first pair of press-on nails from her. They have like a holographic shine with these pink ones because I just feel like it looks good together. So that is Nails by Fair. Shout out to her. She is also a stylist and a sponsor for our upcoming events, and she will be the designated nail press-on nail sponsor and stylist for all Soft Girl Sundays. So every Soft Girl Sunday, you're going to see Nails by Fair. And I will be wearing her products and representing the Nails by Fair quality. All right. And by the way, I do a lot of stuff at these events. I'm picking up stuff. I'm delivering speeches. I'm checking on guests, shaking hands, having to wash hands, doing a lot of stuff throughout the day. And these nails stay on. They have never failed me. So shout out to Nails by Fair. It's like salon quality. I've had so many people who didn't realize that these were press-on nails because of the quality of them and like how strong they are and durable they are. They're not flimsy and thin. Nothing wrong with them being thin, because sometimes it's okay if it's temporary. But I want to show y'all an example of what I receive when I shop with Nails by Fair. So these are my Mardi Gras themed nails, and as you know, I'm about to be looking that bomb. So beautiful green, yellow, purple to represent the colors of Mardi Gras. And here is my nail prepping kit that I receive when you order at Nails by Fair, or when I order at Nails by Fair. But if you order, this is the quality that you are going to receive when you shop with them. So it gives you a pamphlet. This pamphlet walks through information on her brand, how you can follow her. She encourages you to send photos. However, she also has information on, let me see if this is two-sided. Okay, so she has information on options for adhering press-on nails, regular wear up to 10 days, long wear 10 to 14 days. And then also she teaches you how to prepare your nails before you get ready to put them on. And she also gives you recommendations on how to remove the nails as well. So it's very great quality. If you're someone that loves press-on nails, I highly recommend Nails by Fair. They're amazing. So here inside of our kit, we also have a nail prepping kit. I got a file, I got a brush, I have some cute stickers, some nail glue just in case, and then I also have a hand lotion that comes in there too. So this all comes with my nail prepping kit. Now, that's my kit. That's what comes with my wonderful nails that I just showed off this evening. But what I didn't show off is what comes with the Soft Girl Sunday care package. And that's what I'm excited to show everyone. So we know that it's Mardi Gras themed, right? But we also know that technically Mardi Gras has ended, right? And I wanted to make sure that Soft Girl Sunday guests had some nails that they could still wear after Mardi Gras. I mean, I can wear those purple, yellow, and green nails if I want to after Mardi Gras. But this actually ensures that you have an option that is a lot more, let's say, flexible. So these press-on nails are a part of her newest collection. You know, very, very versatile. Neutral colors that you can wear to any occasion and dress up or dress down. Everybody loves a nice, soft, and sexy nude nail. Let me not say that because I don't want them to block me. But everybody likes a earth tone press-on nail. And so this is what they look like. See if I can take this off. Just want to show y'all. Well, I may not be able to take. She has this secure pretty good. Okay, here we go. So one woman is going to be winning these press-on nails, and they are so beautiful. Hold on. So look at these. So pretty from Nails by Fair, and she is actually gifting these. She is a sponsor for our Soft Girl Sunday event. So thank you so much. Shout out to our sponsors. You are all wonderful and amazing. Thank you so much for your contributions. Because the woman who wins this prize is a woman. All the women that are coming out are hardworking women who just want to have a day to relax and let their hair down. And the woman who wins this prize is going to be taking home another little gift to say thank you for showing up and being here, and to let you know we see you and we applaud you. So these are the beautiful press-on nails that are coming from Nails by Fair that will be gifted to one person at Soft Girl Sunday who gets the Soft Girl Care Package. It's a box that has quite a few items, self-care related items in it, and this is one of them. On top of that, they are also going to receive, I have to close this. I actually want to do another review of these later, so I won't do too much. But they get a nail care package, just like what I showed off earlier. And I don't want to open this one because I don't want to ruin this beautiful sticker. I don't think I can open it without ruining the sticker. Yeah, I can't. Okay, so you can like and follow on Instagram, but there's also a beautiful gift inside of this package, a special anonymous gift that they'll be able to open at Soft Girl Sunday. And we're going to find out together what it is. But I am so curious. Oh, my goodness. So that is inside of this package. But this is all coming from Nails by Fair. So thank you so much, Nails by Fair. Shout out to you. We truly appreciate you. And we're so glad that you are a sponsor for this event. Now, I do have to say a huge thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors and stylists and everyone that contributed to the Soft Girl Sunday event. You are all wonderful, and I appreciate every single one of you. We now have over 30 collaboration partners. We've had about up to, I think, 20 to 25 collaboration partners in the past, but we slowed down, and so we've sped up a little bit, and we have over 30 collaboration partners in total with Soft Girl Sunday, with our upcoming musical event. There's just so much we have going on right now with Boss Babe Blog. So I have, because of how many collaboration partners we have received, I've actually created a section in our business resource portal dedicated to the collaboration partners where they can upload information about their collabs, post their pictures and things like that. Okay, so now that we have gone through that tonight, I want to get into the topic of discussion. There's two really big topics that have been on my heart that I want to talk about and walk through and share. The first topic is about consistency. I keep getting entrepreneurs asking me, you know, what is the best way to go about this? Or how do you stay consistent? What do you use to keep you motivated? What are your tips on, you know, consistency? And I've also seen it not just in entrepreneurship, but also in my personal life, because I've been on my weight loss journey and I lost a lot of weight. So people are asking me, what are your tips? What are your secrets? And yes, there is an approach and there is a strategy that can help you with increasing your return on investment when you are growing your business, when you're pretty much growing anything, right? Um, However, the not so romanticized side of this truth is that in many cases, it is going to be as simple as you showing up and doing what you said you were going to do for your business. It is going to be as simple as you taking your own dream seriously enough to show up for yourself, regardless of if the next person is showing up. Because at the end of the day, when people are ready to shop with you, spend with you, or invest in you, if they see that you're not showing up for yourself, why would they expect that your business is going to show up for them when they need your solutions? So, and it's not that people are negative or, they don't want you to win. It's the truth. Just think about yourself. If you saw that a business owner had a shop that they opened and they kept opening and closing, opening and closing. If you really need a product that you know they have, but you're not sure if they're going to be open, are you going to them or are you going to a reliable brand that's around the corner or a corporate brand that you know is going to be open? That's the questions we have to ask. So if you're not showing up for yourself, people are not going to feel secure that you're going to be that person to show up for them when they need those products, services, or solutions in their life. And so people want to hear this like secret magical potion that I've used to see the growth, to see the sales. And yes, like I said, I do have strategies. I do have things that I work on within my business and within my personal life, but there's no magic. It's me showing up every day. I am that magic. You create that magic by being consistent for yourself. So we get so lost in the labels and the platforms and the approach and, oh, I have to make it perfect. When in reality, it comes down to the simplest of things, which is, do you show up for yourself? And do you do what you said you were going to do and what you set out to do? Now, it doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. And it doesn't mean there aren't going to be days when you have room for opportunity and growth, right? But if you're constantly flaky out on yourself and on other people, you should expect that people will subconsciously start to view you as someone who's just not as serious. And it's not because they don't want the best for you. It's simply because that's how the brain is wired. If every day you tell me, I'm going to meet you at this store, and every single day I go to that store, you're not there, you don't meet me there, by the fifth or sixth or seventh or eighth time that you said, I'm going to meet you at this store, I'm most likely just going to meet somebody else who I know is showing up to the store. That's just how our brains are. And I mean, it's not just our brains, it's also like common sense. If a person is telling you something, but then they're not following through, they're not showing up, they're not showing enthusiasm, they're not pushing, then it teaches you and tells you that this is not an area that they are serious about or that they are wanting. Subconsciously, even when we're trying to believe that it is what they're wanting, sometimes subconsciously, it just makes you feel as if it's not something that they're serious about. So that there's no magic recipe. There's no, I can't give you like, oh, this is what I do. I can give you tips. I can give you mindset hacks, things that I had to tell myself to get through those hard days that I still use to get through tough days when I'm feeling down or when I'm going through something. But I can't give you the magic sauce to make you get up and want to go and do it, because that comes from you internally, where you say, hey, I am going to be accountable for my own drive, and I'm going to choose to do this because I want this, or I'm going to be accountable for my own drive and I'm going to choose not to pursue this and find what I want to pursue because I don't want this enough to be consistent or to show up for myself. Sometimes it sounds good on paper, but when we actually get into our actions show us that we want something different, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to have that in you. You got to have it in you. And if you don't have it in you, you got to find a way to build it in you. And it starts off by showing up. People will ask me, you think I should start a new TikTok, or you think I should start a new Instagram, or you think I need to download Threads? No. Hate to be dramatic with the slam, but I had to. No. If you're already not showing up on one social media platform, no, the answer is not to go download 5 more. That's not going to help what the core issue is for you, because the core issue is not the social media platform. It's something internal that you have to work through to figure out why you're not showing up. Now, you don't need to show up on a social media platform. Social media is one platform to sell your business. We talked about this in our other live. You can promote your business in a brick and mortar location, an actual restaurant or bar or studio or wherever you want to. You can promote it on an online website, an actual website. You can promote it through a social media shop. You can promote it. I mean, there's so many different kinds of platforms out there. You got the digital and then you have the offline platforms. So social media is not the only way. So by any means am I saying that if you don't have a social media page, or if you're not consistent on your social media, that you can't have a successful business, because that wouldn't be responsible of me to say. There's people out here who have grown their brands and they did not have a large social media following, because for a long time social media wasn't around. Now it is a tool now, and you can utilize it to the best of your ability to grow your business. But if you're coming to me to ask me, do I need to start a new social media platform, and you're already inconsistent on the one that you have, the answer is no. Because the social media platform is not what the issue is. The platform is not the issue. It's something internal. It is either A, I'm not really motivated like that, or B, my schedule is not really aligned and I have to be more intentional about how I'm going to promote my business. But adding more onto your plate is not going to be the solution for seeing more sales and growth. You have to figure out what it is you want and create a plan and execute that plan and follow through with that plan. Because if you keep adding on and you do that shiny penny thing where it's like, oh, another platform, I'm going to go download TikTok. Oh, another platform, I'm going to go download Threads. Oh, another platform, I'm going to go download Lemonade. I'm not saying that you can't and grow your platforms and stuff, but if you're already struggling and being consistent and showing up for yourself and stepping on camera and selling your products on one platform, why would all of a sudden when you get another platform, things just change and all of those fears or things that you're trying to overcome just disappear? It's not the platform. It's you needing to show up consistently and follow through with what you say you're going to do for your business, and find a schedule that aligns with your lifestyle, so you're not overcommitting and beating yourself up when you can't do everything. So we have to consider that. And that's not everybody, but it's just an example. So now that we've shared that one very important thing that I wanted to get out the way, because consistency, drive, push, those things they are a lot easier said than done. So a person might be looking and saying, I wish I had that energy. That's not energy. That's discipline. I can't tell you how many times I had a person say that to me. I wish I had your energy. This is not energy. This is discipline. This is passion. This is grit. This is consistency. This is fight. Because there are days when I'm extremely tired and I still show up and I come to rock it out every single time. That is grit. That is discipline. That is hard work. That is blood, sweat, and tears. That is a different level of dedication. That's not energy. So we cannot make ourselves think that you have to have an energy or there's a magic secret. It is you deciding that you are going to follow through for your dreams. That is how you are going to get more consistent. When you make the plan, you execute the plan, and you follow through. All right, moving on. So this evening, we're talking about 21 ways to develop a stronger mental as entrepreneurs. So basically, I wanted to do this topic because I keep, like I said, getting questions. So I'm going to share a few. And then for the last ones, I'll share about maybe like 10 to 15 of them. And the last ones, I'm probably going to make a separate video to go through this. But the first one is don't be a broken record. And when I say don't be a broken record, I mean, there are a lot of things going on in our lives and in our entrepreneurial journey that are going to make you feel like people are against you, or make you feel like you're alone. Even if you don't feel like they're against you, you just feel like you're alone. And there's going to be times when you feel like you're not really being supported, and your emotions are valid and you probably are right. But we can't be a broken record of nobody supports me, or, nobody's here for me, because what we're doing is we're sitting in those emotions and we're not processing, creating a plan, and getting up from out of those emotions and moving on to the next room. I see so many people, and actually the reason why I was able to make this correlation is because I saw it in personal life. I've seen so many people complain about how they've never been in a healthy relationship, or they've never had a good friend, or nobody ever supports them, or nobody ever loves on them. And then I see someone loving on them, or I'm that person that's loving on them and has to eventually just say, okay, you got issues and need therapy. But I see this happening real time, but they're so focused on being that broken record and talking about the things that they're not getting, that not only are you dismissing the people and the quality that is in front of you, but you're also creating your own narrative of what your life was and is going to be. So yes, that may have been in your past. You may come across people who are not supportive, but that's a part of life. You cannot be a broken record of nobody supports me. You have got to claim and take ownership of the relationships that you seek. So not that you find, because sometimes you're going to find people that come across like they're great people and they have great intentions, when in reality, their intentions are not very pure and they're not very direct about them. And that's not your fault. But what you have to take accountability for is what you decide to seek out in a friendship and a relationship. So if you're not liking that, it's okay to vocalize that and keep moving, but you have to keep looking. You can't just give up on the search and then say that there's nobody out there, because there are people who really do want to support you, love on you, be there for you, but you just got to keep going, and you got to believe that they're out there, because the same way you're out there, someone's out there looking for you. But it's a matter of keeping going. You can't stop just because you've had a negative experience, friendship wise, romantic wise, or business wise. You have to keep pushing. Because one day you're going to walk into a room where these people are sitting here and have been waiting on you and are ready to embrace everything that you have to offer. So that is the first mindset tip. The next one, stop talking about non-supporters. Stop the passive aggressive non-supporter stuff. Like, yes, we do have dialogue and conversations about, support and how we can be a better support or things we've experienced. Yes. But kind of back to the broken record thing, I come across entrepreneurs where that's literally all they talk about, and it is exhausting. It's exhausting. Like, I've tried to connect or tap into someone's network, and every time I look in that network, it has something that, like, along the lines of, show me where all the real supporters are, the real women that like to really support women, or show me. I don't want to hear that. Just if you're looking for some supportive women, just say it. I don't want to hear that. That's exhausting. I don't know about other people. I just know that hearing that over and over again, it's just like, okay, you just need to talk this out. You got to get these emotions off your chest, because you're projecting it onto every other relationship where they're assuming, or you're coming off with the connotation that they wouldn't just already know that they're those people who support. So got to let that go. We got to get through those obstacles or the harshness that we felt, so we can make space for people who are genuinely here to support us and see us win. Then we have to pay attention to the energy that we invite. Now, I got to be very careful with this statement, because sometimes I don't like when people, how do I put this? I don't like when someone does something that's wrong, and then we turn around and we blame the person that they did it to, the quote unquote victim or survivor of their wrongdoings, as if it's their fault that that person was trifling. I don't like that. I don't know why we do that, but we do. So I don't ever want to make it seem like you could be accountable for anybody else's actions, because you can't. So they could be really sweet to you. They could do all the right things. They can have all the green flags, and then they can flip the switch and be a terrible, integrity-less person. I don't even know if integrity-less is a word, but hopefully it is. If it's not, you still know what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to say that it's your fault if somebody does that. But I want you to be mindful of the words that you use. I want you to be mindful of how accepting you are to certain treatment of people and certain conversations, because when you are too accepting of it, you are creating a space for it where you're saying, hey, it's okay for you to treat me this way, or it's okay for us to have these kind of conversations. I had to really think about how I was going to word that. But, I just want you to be mindful of what we invite and what we do not invite. So when something does not feel right and you're not okay with it, you don't have to go along like you are. It's okay to just decide that you're not going to do it and keep on moving. That's a part of life, and it's also a part of business. So you want to have a great mindset, be mindful of what you invite, but also what people push on you, so you can know where those lines need to be drawn. The next thing is be the catalyst, not, hold on, y'all, because there's a lot of words over here. This journal is packed. But let's see. Oh, okay. So be the catalyst, not the watcher. This one is big for me. It always has been. Good evening. Good evening. This evening, I'm sharing 21 ways to develop a stronger mental entrepreneurship or entrepreneur mindset. So be the catalyst, not the watcher. We talked about this a little bit, but this topic always is important for me, because people are so focused on what the next person is doing, and their energy is based off of what they're seeing instead of it just being based off their own integrity. Have your own integrity and personality where you say, this is just who I am. Now, what you do in certain situations may vary, because certain situations require you to deal with it accordingly, always. But your personality, your shine, the energy that you bring, who you are, that should not vary just because, the circumstances have varied. That's just who you are. So don't watch other people to decide if you're going to have energy too. I never understood that. I've been in rooms with entrepreneurs and they'll say, well, who's all coming? Who cares? Who cares? I've already talked about this. Who cares? I don't care. I don't care. And let me tell you why I do not care who's coming in this room. Because if I took the time to get up, put gas in my car, dress up, put on makeup, put on these nice clothes to show up to this event. You got to know I do not care about who else is coming. You got to know I don't care. You got to know that when I step in that building, it doesn't matter who's coming because I'm here. That is the energy we need to have as entrepreneurs. And it translates into every single thing that you do with your business. You can't start wanting to go hard just because the next person is going hard. You have to already want to do it for yourself or be pushing yourself to do it on your own. You can't look to the next person and say, oh, I see them gaining momentum. Let me catch up. Now, sometimes people do inspire you, right? But your life and your movements and your energy cannot be dependent upon what the next person brings. It can't be, because that is just going to be a very confined way of living. You're waiting on someone else to determine what you're going to be and how you're going to live. Who wants to live like that? So as an entrepreneur, if you want to build your mindset, you have to practice stepping with integrity and having your own energy, regardless of what's going on around you. I've had times where I've gone into networking events, and I think I talked about this, where people have said, ooh, wasn't anybody in there. Guess what? I still got a client. I still got a lead. I still got somebody that signed up with my business. I'm leaving with something. If I come here, I'm leaving with something, whether it be practice, whether it be a client, whatever it is. And a lot of times people focus on what's going on around them. You so focus on what's going on around you that you forget to do what you're supposed to do. And that happens a lot in business. So we have to be the catalyst on our own. We're not waiting for other people. I give another example. I had a networking event where I had like over 30 people in this room. And one individual was like, well, I guess nobody wanted to buy today. No, you didn't want to sell today. You didn't want to sell today. And that's because maybe you were scared. Maybe you were nervous. I don't know what it was. But you should have made the decision when you came to this event that you were going to engage and connect with every single individual in that room and tell them who you are and what solution you provide. That is on you. And as an entrepreneur, we have to take that accountability and we have to be the catalyst. Because if you are not the catalyst to your business, then you are the rotten apple sinking the ship. There is no in between. It's one or the other. You're the catalyst or you're the watcher. You can't be the watcher and the CEO at the same time. You can't be chilling in the background saying, I'm going to see what everybody else do, when you are the CEO, when you are the founder of the business. It's just not, it doesn't work. So make sure you are mindful of that. You step in with your own energy and you follow through. The next thing is stop complaining about things that you can't fix. So many times entrepreneurs will like drive themselves crazy going in a circle about things that are out of their control. If you can't fix it, you can't fix it. But instead of focusing on what we can't fix, let's focus on what we can fix. So maybe right now you don't have as much funding. You're not able to purchase a big fancy website, right? But guess what? There are apps, there are things that are free. Canva, there's a free version of Canva. I'm pretty sure you can publish a website on Canva for free. And if you can't publish a website on Canva for free, I'm pretty sure you can make a beautiful flyer and with your phone number and let people call you or send you a text or whatever, however they're going to book with you. But if you can't fix, the fact that you can't have a website, then it sounds like you need to be working on other ways to make money. But we do this thing where we just focus on things that we can't fix, that are out of our control. Let it go, suck it up, move on to the next thing, because at the end of the day, it's not going to change. That's what it is. And we know that's what it is. So we can't keep doing that. We really can't. Link in bio pages. That's a perfect example. There are so many examples out there of how you can get through an obstacle that's in front of you. Accept that you cannot change it and don't keep talking about it. Because the energy that we put into saying, well, I couldn't do this because of that, is energy that we could have mentally put into finding a solution. It's very true. So don't focus on stuff that you can't fix. If you can't fix it, you just can't fix it. Stop talking about it. Stop. I don't understand why we do that. And to be honest, when you're dealing with people that are trying to get stuff done, it is a very agitating thing. And you may end up losing great relationships with people that really are the ones you want to be around, because they're all about that drive and making things happen. But if you are that broken record of, well, I couldn't promote because I can't go live. My thing was canceled. My account was canceled. I can't go live anymore, guys. So I can't sell because I can't go live anymore, guys. And you just keep going about how you can't go live. We know it. We got it. We heard it. You're canceled. We get it. Let's move on. What is next? How are we going to sell now? We can't go live. How are we going to sell? Are we going to start sending out some emails? Are we going to start calling? Are we going to partner with local boutiques and see if we can get us a little place put in the boutique in exchange for working there part-time? What are we going to do? but we got to do something outside of just repeating the problem over and over again, because there's levels to this. The first level is admitting that you have a problem. That's already good. We're there. The second level is understanding the problem and how it came to be, or what we're going to do to get out of it. And the third level is getting out that problem. We're executing. So don't focus on complaining over things that you can't change. The next thing is stop comparing yourself. Oh wait, I got another one. Oh, get around people who don't make excuses. So, we all have areas in our life where we can grow in and we can do better. But you're going to find people in your lives that they might have their venting session. They might be human. We're all human. I'm human. I have mine too. But for the most part, on the majority of time, they're focused on getting to this money or growing or elevating in some kind of area. So the conversations are not going to always be, a reason for why you can't do something. We're not going to keep ruminating on why we can't do something. You need to get around people who don't make a lot of excuses. You don't hear a lot of excuses from them. You just need to get around them. I'm not saying you have to ask them to coach you. I'm not saying you have to ask them to teach you. You just need to be in their presence. And no, I'm not talking about the pick your brain folks. Hey, can I pick your brain? AKA, can you sit down and talk to me and teach me the insight and stuff? Be direct if that's what you're wanting, but that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, if somebody that doesn't make excuses a lot and they have a business, you need to be either supporting, watching, promoting, or paying attention and studying that business. You need to be in the rooms that they're in. If they have a networking event, you need to be there. If they have a in-person shop event, you need to be there. If they are hosting a celebration, you need to be there. You need to be in the rooms with people who do not make excuses, because the more you are around people who do not make excuses, the more you realize that you can choose to accept the things you can't control, and you can choose to fight and find a way to get around it or to work with it. That's a choice. And the choice of letting the things that you can't control be the reason why you're not going to pursue your dreams or you're not going to elevate, that is I'm not going to say it's your excuse every time. Everybody's life is different, but get around some people who don't make excuses. I'm telling you, if you don't have that friend now, if you don't have those people in your life now, you need to get there ASAP. The next thing is stop comparing yourself. So this is great for business and personal life, and actually friendship too. And we're going to talk about this in our upcoming podcast, because in our upcoming podcast, we're discussing what are ways we can have a better and more enriching friendship, right? And one of the tips that I'm going to be sharing is stop comparing yourself to your friends or to your people around you, because it is such a draining behavior. Firstly, because many times when you're comparing yourself to a person, they are not even thinking about that or caring about that. And I've seen friendships, business ships, relationships where I had to let go because there's just too much unnecessary comparisons in ways that are unhealthy. I had a friendship where a person was trying to compare lifestyle choices, who's going to get married first, who's going to have a house first, just weird stuff like that. Like, I don't want to race to see who gets married first. That sounds kind of dangerous, don't you think? So just stuff like that. I can't do that. And then the assets part of it, trying to compare monetary values. It's just kind of weird to me. I know certain people, we like to compete. There's healthy competition, but the competition where you're always comparing what you have or what you're doing to the next person is extremely unhealthy. And in business, there's productive comparisons and then there's non-productive comparisons. That's the word that I have given for it. When I was in business, I talked about that a lot when I was in business for business management, store management, training and stuff. And I would train other managers and send them to their shops. There's productive comparisons and there's non-productive comparisons. So sitting down and saying, I look cute, I'm dressing cute in her, I look better, that's non-productive. It does nothing. Now, comparing your results and your numbers and saying, hey, she put this mannequin in the window and she got 30% increased sales. Let me try putting this mannequin in the window, or let me try putting this on the mannequin in the window and see if my sales increase. That's a productive comparison where we're talking about analytics and growth and behaviors and things we can do to elevate ourselves. But just comparing yourself to compare is really pointless, and it's almost an insult to yourself as well, as an entrepreneur as well. I don't compare my communities to anyone. I don't compare my business to anybody. I don't have a specific directory that I point at and say, this is this. But I know that there are things that make my directory special because there's stuff that I do in my directory that is different from the average directory. But do I feel the need to like go out of my way to create a campaign to slander or put down? I don't. I just don't, because I know what value I'm bringing. So there's no need for me. And I've been that way for a long time. Sometimes people will compare me to other people thinking it's a compliment, but it doesn't make me feel, I don't feel like it's a compliment. I just feel like you're bringing me into comparison that I really could care less to be a part of. So when people say things like, oh, your price is so much cheaper, or, your price is so much more expensive, whatever it might be, it doesn't affect me in the way that I think they're expecting it to affect me, because it's not a compliment or insult. It's just you making a comparison on your own. But me, I don't make comparisons because I don't care. So I'm not going to compare my price to the next person's price and say, oh, I'm so much cheaper than them. Come over here. I don't care. I don't care. Because if you're coming here for the value. You're coming here because you know what you're receiving and you feel like it's worth the price point. And yes, there are a lot of services that you can receive at a very wonderful price point, depending on, what you're purchasing, right? And if it's a bundle, for example, we have a package available to 5 more people right now where you can get a business card design, 2 digital business card designs, social media training, a professional 1 to 2 page website. And then there's one more thing. 24 ad listings and 24 months of having your website listed in our directory. So that's a wonderful deal. And that's at the price of $150. So it's a bundle. It's a wonderful promo. But am I worried about, someone coming to me and saying, oh, this is so much cheaper, I love it? No, I'm not. Someone saying this is more expensive, I'm not. We got to stop comparing ourselves, because once you stop comparing yourselves, you give yourself freedom to be who you are unapologetically, and be who you are based off of your standards and your focus, instead of the next person's standards and the next person's focus. So eliminate the prices of the next person, eliminate all of that. There's productive price comparison and there's non-productive price comparison. So if you're saying, yeah, it is real bad. If you're saying, I'm going to make my price higher because her stuff's higher, that's not productive. What is the reason for why you're increasing your prices? Have you changed your service? Do you feel like you are underselling? Is the market value higher and you need to increase the price point? But we had to have productivity when we're making these comparisons. Non-productive comparisons will be the things that will really hurt your mental, your business, your pockets, your life, your friendships, your relationships. I can't tell you one relationship where things went well from a person comparing that I've seen or that I've experienced. I've had friendships where people try to compare themselves to me, as I said in the past, or compare their actions and their judgments to my actions and my judgments. X'd out, you're done. Relationships where a person is comparing their quote unquote successes to my successes, you're done, you're dumped. Business ships, or, business relationships where a person thought they were going to compare what they're doing to me. Don't care. So, it's a projection of insecurity when a person feels the need to do that. And you have to make sure you're not the person doing that, because it's something that's like addictive. You start with this, and then the next thing you know, a couple days down, you're worried about what they're doing with this, or why you don't look like that, or you're trying to mimic somebody, when in reality, you need to understand why you're doing what you're doing. Have your own pathway, and don't worry about comparing yourself to other people when it's non-productive. All right. Let's move on. The next one is get on camera. So get on camera, promote your business. Now, do you have to get on camera to have a successful business? No, you absolutely don't. You can have a successful business. You can gain sales without being on camera. There's plenty of brands that you don't see the CEO on camera, right? However, you increase the chances of someone making a purchase by 60 to 70% when they see you on video. So I'm just saying, there's certain things out here that have been shown in marketing and sales that increase your chances of gaining sales. So if you want to increase and maximize, then put yourself out there. Why not? I mean, if you're not perfect, nobody's perfect. You're going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But you kind of going back and forth on putting yourself out there, or being camera shy and doing it, dipping your toe in the water, but then I'm not. We don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. No day is promised. No second is promised. Anybody could be here today and gone tomorrow. And that testament is so true, and so many experiences that I have seen, people close to me, people that I know of, stories that I've heard. No day is promised. You don't have time to play small. So that, I'm camera shy, I'm worried about what they might think. You got to get out of there real quick, because you don't know how much time you've been given on this earth. Nobody knows how much time they've been given on this earth. Don't spend it second guessing yourself when you know that you have the capability to do that and put yourself out there. The people who you see now who look so polished and put together, that's not them being perfect. That's years and years of practice. That's years and years of sitting in front of a mirror and practicing what they're going to say about their brand, about their mission. That's why no matter where I'm at, if somebody were to say to me, I need you to deliver this speech on this, I could deliver it without the notes. A lot of the speeches that I've delivered have been without the notes. I don't need them. You know why? Because I practiced for this. I prepared for this. I have manifested this. I have affirmed this. On the days when I'm, tired after a long day and I'm cleaning and doing my, doing my, what's that word called? My nighttime routine. I'm talking to myself in the mirror as if I'm being interviewed on my business. I'm talking about my mission. I'm talking about my values. I'm talking about things that are important to me. I think about these things because that's what I care about. So you have to practice. And once you practice, it does become a lot more natural. But sitting and playing small, being shy, we don't have time for that. We don't have time. No day is promised. You are not promised time on this earth. Nobody is promised that. You don't know when your day is going to be. So I need you to make sure that every single day is dedicated to something that you are passionate about and is feeding your fire, feeding your passion. Hello. Thanks for joining. Hey. So, that's extremely important. I got to make sure I put that out there. And thanks for joining. We have another sponsor joining us this evening, founder of JC Fashion Finds Boutique. And I did share her flyer already, but I'll share it once more. JC Fashion Finds Boutique, style that fits your everyday and your standout moments. Boom. The QR code at the bottom is where you can go ahead and scan to shop her website, screenshot this advertisement. And in the process of screenshotting the advertisement, you can also check out her Instagram, her Facebook, and send an email and shop today. Okay. Oh, and I completely forgot, guys. So I think I told y'all, but Anotherness Boutique, we are back. We're back. We are having our products. Yes, we will have our plus size collection. Yes, we will have our petite collection. And maybe we will have some footwear, but I might just leave the footwear up to Bougie Steps. We're going to see about that part. But this is a dress that I wore on Soft Girl Sunday, and it also happens to be the dress behind me that I have available in a small, medium, and large. That's all I have left. It did run small, so I had to resize them. So originally I did purchase extra large XLs, but they fit more like a large to me. So I wanted to make sure we put it in the right sizing. So we have a small, a medium, and a large available. It is $25. It is free shipping. And when you purchase this dress, you're going to receive some press-on nails, a eye mask, a mascara from Carlita Cosmetics, and I think that might be the last self-care items. Yeah. Oh, and a compact rose. It's like a compact mirror, but it's rose shaped. So if you know anyone that might want that, check out Anotherness Boutique. I will drop the link in the comments. If you know any ladies that love those kind of items, I'm going to send it to you real quick. Y'all can go check it out. This is the I Feel Sexy collection, and there will be more items added. Now, they might not all be red. They may be different colors, but, I just wanted to put that out there. Here we go. Let's see. I just finished my first live on my platform, and guess what I did with fear and confidence? No one shopped, but people did stop by, and that's just a start of what's to come. It was great practice. Congratulations, Nicole. Congratulations on putting yourself out there. And like I was saying earlier, in many cases, you will have those days where people are either going to shop immediately or they're going to shop down the line. Leads take anywhere from 24 seconds to 24 months to generate. So that person watching that video might see that 3 weeks from now and say, hey, I want that item, and go straight to that website and purchase it if it's still available and someone else hasn't purchased it. So being in the mind space of, regardless of who is there, I will always execute like there's 100 people in front of me, has gotten me a lot of sales and clients down these years of me being an entrepreneur. Because when I step into my networking rooms, I still have, for example, I have a free webinar that I've done before, a free sales webinar where I teach people how to gain some sales, and I walk through it. Sometimes I got a lot of people in the webinar. Sometimes I don't have as many people. Every time, regardless of who's in the room, whether it's me and one other person, me and 30 other people, me and 20 other people, I always walk through the same steps that I have for the webinar with the same passion and the same quality. And I do it every single time. You know why? Because in the rooms where I have 1 to 2 people, I had people come back and spend money and purchase items from me. And the rooms where I had 30 people, I had people come back and spend money and purchase items from me. So I never limit what my sales are going to look like, just because in the moment I cannot see it, because that's just a part of entrepreneurship. So I'm glad that you went live, because it goes back to what I was saying before. We got to put ourselves out there. We got to put ourselves out there. So that's why I offer replay shopping for 24 hours. A lot of items are on the site, but can still be purchased through invoice. Ooh, okay. Love that. Love that. So, we just have to put ourselves out there. And that kind of goes back to what I had said originally. Put yourself out there. Don't be afraid, because at the end of the day, no day is promised. Make sure every day is dedicated to what you love. All right. So next thing that I have is show up for trainings, show up for consults, show up for classes, show up for yourself. When you train, whether it's through business consulting, whether it's through training and classes, whether it's through meetings that you've created yourself, you have to show up. And the reason why is because you create the momentum for your business. The momentum isn't created through outside sources. You create the momentum, because if you don't show up, the momentum is not going to be created, because it's your business. And that's where a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs lose that message. And they also start to burn out, because what they're not understanding is that you have to be the one to set that tone for your brand. It is your business. So when you are signing up for trainings, consultations, classes, show up. Interviews, whatever it is, show up. It doesn't matter how, in the moment, I'm a little nervous. Who cares? Who cares? We do not have enough time on this earth we don't know how much time we have on this earth to sit and play small, like I said before, but also to waste time worrying about what could go wrong. Just show up. Just follow through. Just commit. There's been days where I really did not feel like it. Like internally, in the bottom of my soul, I did not feel like going to whatever it was that I had scheduled, whether it was me conducting it or it was me going to something else that I committed to. I did not feel like going. I was tired. Okay? Tired. I understand. But I still pushed myself to get up out that bed, to show up to what I said I was going to commit to. And when I did that, it was so rewarding afterwards. Not because of, my life was going to not be the same if I didn't show up to this place, but because I committed to this, I followed through with this, and I made it happen for myself. And when you commit to things and you follow through, you teach your brain to trust yourself. When you commit and you don't follow through, you teach your brain not to necessarily trust yourself. So you have to show up, whether it's a class, whether it's a meeting, whether it's networking. Show up and be consistent about showing up. We all have our days. People go through things. People have emergencies. But everything is not an emergency. And we got to just learn to accept that. Everything is not an emergency. And we make the choices on when we want to show up for ourselves. And if we're not able to be honest with ourselves and have that self-awareness, we will miss out on the growth that is supposed to happen for our business. Because I've had times where people are like, I just really couldn't. That's not an emergency. That's not a real reason. That's just something that you've put in front of you to give yourself an obstacle for why you couldn't show up for yourself. But in reality, this could have been solved. I had a time where someone said, I couldn't because my light bulb. Girl, if you don't go screw in another light bulb and get on this interview. Or I couldn't because my camera was wobbly. Okay, you want to get on the interview and ask, hey, is it okay if I do X, Y, and Z? What can we do? How can we come to a solution? You're an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs don't get the privilege to have someone come to them and say, hey, I know this isn't working right now, and I know you want to give up, but here's another approach. Try this. You might have a coach. Yes, because of a light bulb. I have had some of the silliest things that I have, the silliest communications. And I'm like, really? If you're going to let a light bulb stop you from telling these people what you do and how you can help change their lives, then you got a lot more to worry about, my girl. Because the light bulb is the least of your problems. There's going to be people who are not positive. You're going to have people who intentionally come to your space to bring you down. You're going to have people who are waiting to see if you're not successful. And you're going to have people who genuinely just need more information from you and are going to challenge every single word that comes out your mouth. So if this light bulb is the start, then we got to really build up that stamina. Because that light bulb, let me tell you something. You need to have a mindset of, I don't care about what it is that's in front of me. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. Because at the end of the day, when you make things happen for your business and you show up for yourself like you committed to, the way that you feel is undescribable. You don't have to ask yourself, what if? There's nights when I really wasn't feeling well, and I didn't have to ask myself, what if? Because I showed up for myself. I've done an interview from a toilet. I'll keep saying it. I don't, a commode. Okay. I did an interview from a toilet because we were in the middle of a storm warning in Texas. Okay. Wind was blowing. You could hear the windows pushing in and stuff. You know, that's just a regular Texas night though. You know, tornadoes and all that stuff, you just get used to it. But still, during this process, I had to go find shelter, and I brought my device into the bathroom. And if the lights were going to turn off, I was going to use the flash on my device. And I did an interview from a toilet sitting on a commode. Okay. Obviously closed, and no, I wasn't using it, but it was for the show. And that is a level of dedication that I have to my brand. I'm going to show up for myself every single time that I can. There's not going to be a lot that's going to keep me down. Yes, MJ was actually the person I interviewed on this show. So yes, here I am interviewing her, and she didn't really worry too much about the commode because she probably already knew. We over here in the storm. I don't know. Maybe I told her, but at the end of the day, we just know. We're here when it comes to our business and our dreams. We know things are going to happen. The show is going to go on. It's going to happen. And you know, when I realized that this wasn't common was because when I would commit to stuff, or when I would tell people I want to do this or I'm going to do that, they would be coming back and pestering like, are you still going to do this? Are we still going to do that? Are we still going to? And I'm thinking in my head, goodness gracious, how many times are you going to ask me? I already told you I'm going to do it. I'm going to be there. We said it one time. That's the only amount of times we need to say it. We're coming. So if I say on Wednesday, I'll meet you next Wednesday, you don't have to message me every day of the week to ask me if I'm going to meet you on Wednesday, because I'm going to be there, because I committed to that and I'm following through. Unless there's an emergency, and you will know as soon as I am able to physically text you, I'm going to be there. So that's just normal for me. And then I realized that that's not normal for everybody. And that's why some people feel the need to come back and say, hey, are you sure you're going to be there? Because sometimes they have people who say they're going to be there and then they don't. So I had to accept that reality, that is other people's experiences, and not take it personally when a person is consistently pushing it. But now I do get to a place where I just say, yes, I'm going to be there. Expect me to be there. Don't worry. I'll be there. And I'm going to speak to you on that day. We're not going to do the back and forth rigmarole. But either way, you have to show up for yourself, and you have to differentiate when you need to be soft and loving, and always be loving to yourself. But you need to differentiate when you need to give yourself grace and when you need to give yourself accountability and change. There's a fine line in between those two. And we're not perfect. You're going to have days where you're trying to ask yourself, am I balancing that line properly? Right? But in the process of you finding that balance in between grace and accountability, it requires self-awareness. It requires transparency. So on that day when you say, oh yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it to class, I had an emergency. And deep down inside, you know, well, was it really an emergency? No, what happened is I wasted some water on my shirt. I could have just got there and asked for some extra clothes. I could have just went back in the house and grabbed some clothes and called them and said, hey, I'm running late. I could have did this, and that. Sometimes in the moment, we don't think about that. So we're not saying like, oh, all these things I could have done. Sometimes it takes you learning and then saying, okay, this is something that I can work on. I can be better about in the future, right? But it should only take you one or two times. You can't keep using the same reason every time. So you keep saying, oh, I spilled coffee on my drink, on my dress. No. The last time you spilled a drink, what did you have to do? Get backup clothes. So now we have backup clothes in our bag. So when things like this occur, we are prepared and we are ready to go. It can't be a consistent over and over again thing with you. And so that's where understanding how showing up and understanding the difference between an emergency and just a choice really comes into play. Is this really an emergency? Is this really something that, I can't show up for? Or is this just a choice? I'm making the choice because I don't feel like it. You got to be honest with yourself, because if you can't be honest with yourself, you will not be able to grow your business. It starts off with self-awareness and transparency within. All right, moving on to the next thing. Execute what you learn quick. So, and for anyone that's kind of catching on to this replay, we're talking about 21 ways to develop a stronger mental entrepreneur mindset, but I'm not going through all of them tonight. I'm just going to do like maybe 10, 15 or so. We're on number 10. Execute what you learn quick. So when you get taught something or when you're learning something, whether it's in a consult, a class, whatever, execute it quickly. Quickly. And the reason why I say that is because your brain, when you're absorbing that information, you take it and you go immediately execute it, you're building momentum. When you get information and you say, okay, I'm gonna work on it, and then it takes you 5 months later to work on it, it's kind of a form of procrastinating in a sense. Now, some things you will not be able to work on everything instantly. You just won't. You have to plan, but you need to, as quickly as conveniently possible, create a time frame when you are going to work on that. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is going to be one of those things that you just have a list of that you were going to work on and you were going to complete that you never completed because you never sat down and committed the time to do it. So make sure that when you learn something, go and apply it. Perfect example. I had a free business mentorship program available, right? And normally I tell my clients to take notes. You should always have notes when you're coming to a consult, even if you're someone that takes notes, right? Because we do have recordings, but get your notes. Because if you're someone that's going to be asking the questions or you want to know certain things or you just want to have reference without watching a whole video, bring your notepad, right? So this individual did have her notes, but I told her something specific that she should do to change her stuff on social media. She didn't wait 30 minutes. She didn't wait an hour. She didn't wait a week later to go and do it. She did it right there in the consultation. Before I even moved to the next point, she did it. She was like, done. Now, some stuff I do require my clients' attention. So I do recommend they pause and wait before they start making those changes because I need to give them all the information. But this specific thing, it was like a, on and off change that she was able to make on her social media. And she did it instantly. I can't remember what it was. I just know she did it quick. And that right there was like, that is what I'm talking about. You do it as soon as you learn it. Execute it. Don't let it just sit on your shelf of these are cool things that I know and maybe I'll execute it, maybe I won't. Try it out and execute it because how else will you know if it's the right thing for your business? And the longer you wait to execute these things, the longer you wait to find out. So that's the other thing. Follow through with commitments. We kind of talked about this already, which is like showing up for training, consults, classes, events, things like that. But just follow through with your commitments. Now, of course, things happen and, stuff changes. That is very much true. However, what I talked about earlier, what you teach you have to be careful what you're teaching your mind. And if you're constantly creating commitments and not following through, you're teaching your brain not to trust you. You want to start gaining trust in yourself and really feeling like you can do this and your business is going to grow and you're where you need to be, then you need to start being very careful about what you commit to. You need to understand what that commitment entails and what it requires out of you. And if you are ready to deliver that, and then you need to start following through with that delivery. Because I've seen a lot of times in entrepreneurship from a business side where whether it was somebody I was consulting or whether it was somebody that I was partnering with, where they committed to be somewhere, they committed to do something, and then they don't follow through with the commitment. And then sometimes, a lot of times I won't push if it's something that I don't really feel like I need to push because time is of the essence. So I'm just like, all right, next. But if it's something that I do feel like, hey, I got to bring this to your attention, even when you bring it to their attention, still no follow through. And sometimes people do that because they feel like, well, I don't need to take this serious, so I don't need to follow through with this. But that is the problem. Like I talked about where I said, if I was Oprah, but in that quote or in that poem, I talked about that. Would the way that you interact be different if you felt like I was Oprah or somebody that's like famous, Tyra, whoever? We might talk about Tyra tonight, y'all. I might have to. I've been holding this in. I was waiting, but I might have to talk about it tonight. So, but at the end of the day, you had to let me know in the chat though if anybody is aware of what's been going on with the whole America's Next Top Model thing, and we'll go from there. But yeah. So, anyways, like I was saying, you just have to be able to follow through. And sometimes people wouldn't because they thought it wasn't a big deal, and they felt like, well, it's okay if I don't follow through with this person because they're not somebody that's quote unquote famous or But you don't know who I know. You don't know who your clients know. You don't know who it is you're dealing with and how they might take that information and share it with everybody because they had such a great experience, or take that information and when all of their people come asking them, do not recommend you because they had such a negative experience. So learning to follow through with your commitments. It's not to say that you're going to be perfect. It's not to say you're not going to make mistakes. I made mistakes myself, but working through them and holding yourself accountable and not creating excuses, creating solutions is what's going to help you grow your business. You just got to keep working through it. Um, yeah. Oh, you've heard some and you're baffled. I got a lot to say about that. In my opinion might be a little different, but I'm gonna share. Okay, we gonna see how we feeling. Okay, we gonna see how we feeling on it. I'm gonna let y'all know, and then we just gonna sit with it together. We gonna sit and hold hands together, because we might not agree depending on where everybody's perspective is, but we can hold hands together as we talk about this topic. Okay, but either way, we'll come back to that one. But at the end of the day, you just really want to make sure that you follow through with your commitments, and you do it because you have integrity, not because you're changing your integrity based off of who you're dealing with. The next thing is stop leading with aggression. So you want to develop a stronger entrepreneur mindset, stop leading with aggression. You don't have to be aggressive to people to get them to buy into what it is you're doing. You don't have to be aggressive to a person to get them to see that you are the pro. You don't have to do any of that. When you have that confidence in what you're doing, who you are, and what you know, it just comes out when you share your passion and when you share your solutions. But a lot of times I see entrepreneurs leading with aggression when they want to make someone believe them. And it's actually the worst thing you can do, because just like in any other area of our life, if somebody's leading with aggression, what does it make you do? Question their motives. So if you're trying to have better entrepreneur partnerships, don't be so aggressive. If somebody says no, it's okay if they say no. Just keep it moving. It's not the end of the world. You just find somebody else who wants that. That's okay. If you're trying to have better interactions with people and you want more people to spread the word about your name in a positive light, don't be so aggressive about stuff. Just let people be who they are and do what they do. And as they see your confidence and you focus on your passion and your knowledge and your craft, that's going to shine through in everything that you do. And they're going to be curious about it naturally. Oh, hold on 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Speaking of showing up, let me just grab this real quick. Shout out to our Soft Girl Sunday guest, because boy, was she a lifesaver. Currently going through it as we speak. Like I told y'all, there's days when I'm tired. And this is one of those days, physically, mentally, emotionally. Throw that in there as well. I am tired. But guess what? I'm going to show up for myself. I'm going to show up for my business. And I'm going to make sure that I'm there. Now, emergencies are emergencies. And grace is grace. And sometimes you need to give that. But in many cases, you need to show up. So, I didn't even show y'all this. So, Soft Girl Sunday, I had a wonderful guest gift me something, which was very surprising, because this event was about providing a self-care package to one lady that has been working very hard all week. And so I wasn't expecting any gifts. And I did get a gift from Miss Irina. She is so sweet, so beautiful. She brought her sister, Nastia. And this is actually one of those things that you put around your waist. Oh my goodness. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you, Irina. Muchas gracias. Te amo siempre. You got me over here speaking in Spanish. But basically, look. So it's one of those things that you put on your stomach when you are experiencing cramps. Now, I don't know if I can do it without the vibration, but we might have to keep that thing on just for a little bit. Because I'm experiencing some really rough cramps. So you take it, you put it on, you turn on the temperature, and you can choose what temperature you want it to be. Oh, yes. And it heats up without you having to add the vibrations. So, yes, that came from one of the guests at Soft Girl Sunday. Shout out to her. She is listen, we're all MVPs, but you're my MVP tonight. I'm going through it. So it heats up and it adds a little heat on your stomach when you're experiencing cramps and stuff. And it also has a vibrator on here, so that if you're experiencing cramps and you want to shake, I think that like shaking or massaging that area is supposed to be good for you. I'm cracking up at your response, MJ, talking about that's diabolical. Listen. I've had moments where people are like, oh, wish I could have, but my light bulb went out, or oh, wish I could have. That really makes a person question your commitment. And I've always been taught that you don't know everything. So there's always more to some things. But the average consumer, it's not their responsibility. Okay. It's not their responsibility. Yes, we do. We do have someone that offers decor. Charlie Shop. So she offers decor, like home decor items, candles, things like that. And she also has, what's that thing called? She also does home decorating as well. So if you need a room decorated, but if you're just wanting some items to decorate a room, you could also get with her and see what that might look like. And I'll actually drop her link here. If you're talking about heavy on the side eye, yeah, heavy on the side eye, because it says a lot. And like I've always said, things are free. Sometimes something that's free to us is not free to other people. Oh my goodness, this heater is doing everything it's supposed to do. Oh, I could just cry. Thank you so much. So Charlie Shops, text 757-842-0556. Save that in your number if you get a chance, Nicole. And if you text her and let her know you're looking for home decor items, or if you're just looking for home decorating, she will assist you. And yes, wall decor. If you're saying wall decor as in like I'm sorry, I thought you said home decor. But yes, I think she has wall decor. If you're talking about like frames and art and stuff like that, she may have that as well. And if you're talking about backdrops too, she might have that also. But just get with her because she does a lot when it comes to decorating. She can decorate homes. She can decorate event spaces. She can also decorate booths if you're like doing a shopping booth or something. She has all of that. So yeah, get with her and see. Okay, perfect. And yes, MJ, heavy on the side eye, because when this person was talking about some my light bulb, and I'm like, girl, because at this point, you know, if that person wasn't able to do it, that would have been good to know earlier, so I can go ahead and do my replay, have my show set up, you know, maybe I'll take a little rest. But no, I'm here and I'm present because you've committed to come and do this, and I'm showing up, and you're talking about your light bulb, or you know, whatever the case may be. That's not that it was free to you, but it was not free to me. The time, the production, the energy, the effort, the passion. This is not free. This takes time. It takes a lot of time, especially on days when you're tired. And people don't need to see that, and they don't have to hear that. There are certain things you don't have to share with your audience. They don't have to hear all those things. But that doesn't take away the fact that it does happen. You know what I mean? We have to keep those things in mind. So, and thanks for the ask, Nicole. So yes, Charlie does provide that, and she will take care of you. She does a really great job. Okay, so the next thing is we talked about stop leading with aggression. Stop caring about being alone. Sometimes, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm already feeling like at least 0.5 better. It hit me hard today. It hit me really hard. But I've been working through it. We've been working through it. We survive. We survive. All right. So, you know that pain when you just can't even focus? That is what hit me today in the process of me working, and girl, just had to work on through it. The things we work through, it's crazy to me. Like as women, we really out here just in pain, delirious, about to pass out, and still working, completing tasks. It's crazy. And I did this in a corporate environment, and I do it for myself. But it's just sometimes I sit back and I think like, this isn't normal? This is normal? This is life, and it is crazy. But all right, moving on. That's all I'll say about that one. Okay, so the next thing, stop caring about being alone. You got to stop caring about being alone. You have to start loving being by yourself, because the thing is, a lot of relationships are going to change based off of what you're able to give someone. Not all, but some. And you have to be okay with standing alone until you find somebody that is worthy of you standing next to, or worthy of standing next to you, really. You have to be okay with that. You're just going to have to. There's a lot of stuff you're not going to want to tolerate, and you just got to be okay with being alone. There's a lot of people who are not necessarily coming to you with the right intentions, and they're not going to be direct with you. And you're going to notice that, and you have the choice to either try to continue to be in that circle, in that realm, or to choose to stand alone, because it's okay to stand alone. You have to be okay with being alone. I'm not saying all your life, but there's going to be moments of your life where you're going to have loneliness, and you have to welcome it and appreciate it, because it's a time for you to reflect. It's a time for you to affirm your strength. It's a time for you to affirm the beautiful things about you, because being alone is not a negative thing. It's a sign of discernment, someone who practices discernment, and someone who has strength in many cases. Now, I won't say it all, because there are some self-sabotaging individuals who you by yourself because you don't know how to treat people. Okay? And I've met a few of you. You are lonely. It's because you trifling. It ain't had nothing to do with anything else. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just coming through. When it's around that time of month, you can't lie, whether you want to or not. But that's just what it is for a lot of people. But there are a good chunk of people out here who they are by themselves because they choose to be by themselves because they would prefer to be at peace, or they would prefer to be in a community that is full of quality, that is about the right type of things, and not just, moving with no intention, no purpose, or no positivity. So I understand that. And if you don't understand that yet, you're going to have to understand it as an entrepreneur, because there's going to be many rooms that you walk into where you say, this is nice, but this isn't it. And you have to get up and you have to keep walking. You can take cards from people. You can get information from people when you're in these rooms, but you have to get up and keep walking. Because one of the ways that people prey on entrepreneurs, especially in the business to business realm, is they assume that you want to feel like you're a part of something. And that is what they lead with, even when they don't have the intention to actually take care of you or provide resources or tools or have passion to work for you, work with you. And I say this because I've seen this. And I've even had clients tell me, I had a client say, I spent all this time worrying about the image because what was sold to me was the image and, the fancy dinners and, the fancy get-ups and all the things that came with it, the trinkets and stuff. But at the end of the day, I couldn't even say this, or that about my business. I didn't understand any of the business acumen. I wasn't taught these things that would have helped me gain sales. I haven't seen that growth in that business environment, because it wasn't really about my growth individually. It was about the image of things looking nice. And sometimes people do that. They focus so much on the image because they know that people want to belong. They want to know that there's someone out there that supports them. And yes, I do have a community for you. When you come to our directory, we do have a community full of amazing professionals, and you're going to find someone in there that aligns with you on something, right? But it's not just about the community. It's about a service. It's about a solution. And I'm providing all of that at once. So that is a priceless experience that you will receive. But you should know that, yes, you have the community. You have people, supporting you, sending quotes, talking and chatting. We even have group chats and stuff. You have all of that at your fingertips. But it's not just about that. It's about providing you with a solution or a service that you initially came for. So a lot of times people prey on the fact that people want to belong, and they know that, and they don't have the intention of providing them with resources or giving them the information or giving them the accountability or even telling them the things that they may not want to hear. They don't have the intention of doing that because they just want the money. And there's times in entrepreneurship, but also in other areas of life, even just, as a consumer, as a shopper, where a person will try to prey on you because they feel like you don't know how to stand alone and you're not confident enough to be alone. And you have to practice being comfortable being by yourself and having that respect for yourself, so that if something does not feel right for you, does not align with you, you are able to get up and walk away with no fear that you're quote unquote alone, because being alone is not a negative thing. It, in many cases, is an indicator that you practice discernment and would much rather be alone in a positive place than being in a negative place. So that's what that could mean. Hey, thanks for joining. What? Not somebody spelling my name right. Thanks for joining. Happy Thursday. I almost said happy Friday because I've been going live so much, guys, that I forget what day it is, but it's actually Thursday today. But I've been going live on Sundays, Saturdays, Fridays, all of that. That's crazy. How are you doing this evening? We're just talking about ways to grow and strengthen your entrepreneurship mindset. So that's what we're discussing. Okay. So the next tip that I'm sharing is, let's see. So we said stop caring about being alone. The next thing is we got to stop the pout. So I kind of have this analogy, right? Let's see. Says I totally understand. I'm live 5 days a week in the morning. Yes. So then you absolutely understand. Listen, I'm like, what day is it? It's not. Is it Saturday? No, it's Thursday. It's Thursday, and I'm actually right today. But yeah. So the pouting, the entrepreneurship pout, or the entrepreneur pout. I guess that's what we'll call it. I have this analogy. You know how you might, well, if you never raised kids, this may not be an analogy that really sticks for you. I'll still explain it. But have you ever raised children or had children or watched children where you notice that they pout because they're wanting your attention? They only pout when they see that you're paying attention, and they pout loud enough to where you're able to hear what it is that they're pouting about, so you can give them something that they want, instead of directly coming to you and asking you for it. I'll give you an example. I had a child that I watched, and I was in the process of making something in the kitchen. and this child was in the process of finishing their food. She goes, "Oh, I just wish I had this. I just wish I had this." And she just kept saying it. And she clearly wanted me to say, "You wish you had what? This that's in my hand? You want this?" But I couldn't, I didn't really give into it. I just continued cooking and stuff. And then finally she said, "Katan." I said, "Yes." She said, "Can I have one?" And I said, "Yes. After you finish what you're eating, yes, you can have one of these." Communication. But the pouting thing is where we do that because we kind of want that attention. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting attention or wanting support, but understand when you're wanting it and why, so that you can go and get that in your safe space. Because sometimes we mistake an opportunity to sell a solution for an opportunity to give that pout. There are places where, or pout, or whatever you want to call it, but there are places where you will have a safe space to release how you're feeling as an entrepreneur. And then there are spaces where you need to come on board, ready to work and ready to talk about the solutions that you provide. And a lot of times we're not able to differentiate the two. Understand that. Create your safe space. Know where you need to go to get what it is you're needing and directly go to get it. Don't just complain about it, put it out in the atmosphere, but then not actually make the change so that you're not having to experience it anymore. Um, I have three more, and then I'm going to end on that, and I'll do the remaining four on another evening. The next one that I have is the 90-10 intake rule. So we're all human, and I'm sure, we all notice if you're watching this live, you're most likely human. And they have days where you feel low and you don't feel motivated, and you just wish you had somebody, to pat you on your back, and you're having rough days. And the things that help me get through these rough days is practicing trying to intake at least 80 to 90% of motivating, inspiring, productive content. And that other 10% is like content, that I just want to watch. If I just want to have like a brain fart in peace, or I just want to not think so much, excuse me, that's what I'll do. But managing and monitoring the content that you put in, and then really paying attention, even if you're at like 50-50 right now, 50% productive, 50% non-productive, slowly start to move the needle to where you get to like 80% productive, 20% non-productive, 90%, but slowly work your way up. But you got to increase that rule to where only a certain amount of your day is even open to you receiving certain information. Really important. The next thing is get a notebook. If you don't already have a notebook, get one. Some people might feel like that's cliche, but no, it's not. A lot of times people don't have them. Get your notebooks, get your journals, get your whatever it is you use to document, put your logo on them. Like how I have my Boss Babe blog logo on here from hootstop.com. Get your logo. I know y'all can see probably like 3 different logos on this screen, but get your logo on your notebook, put your dreams on your notebook, write your quotes on there, and have that notebook and start taking notes on what it is that you want to see changes in. Because I personally feel like I'm a lot more productive with completing the tasks that I need to complete when I have some like a schedule where I'm writing this down and saying, I'm going to work on this, I'm going to focus on that. So that's the other one. And then the last one, this is probably one of the most important ones in my opinion. But you feel free to share which one was the most important for you. And this is take accountability for your drive. This one is extremely important to me, and I will continue to say it because we live in a world sometimes where people already have preconceived notions of who we are, what we should be doing, where we should be going, what should be important to us. And for that reason, you oftentimes find people who will sign up to do something, but they don't really have that passion internally to do it. They're not really excited about doing it. They don't really want to do it, but they're going to keep pushing because it looks good on paper. And we have to be honest with ourselves. When you take accountability for your drive, you're basically being honest with yourself about if you want something or if you don't want it. If you genuinely don't want to do this, then you're not going to put in as much effort, and you're going to be okay with yourself when you don't put as much effort because you don't want it. So we have to take accountability for our own drive. And then actually, I might have to add this to the live that I'm doing later. The next one is going to be release the accountability of other people's drives from off yourself. Yeah, I'm going to have to add that. Because as a coach, as a mentor, as a consultant, as a project leader, a designer, I do a lot of work for a lot of different wonderful people. And oftentimes I come across entrepreneurs, whether they're my client or not, that are going through their own battles, their own, inner demons that they're battling when it comes to their mindset, deciding on if they want to stay open, if they don't, right? And that's just a part of the industry that I'm in. However, there were times in the past where I would worry too much about what someone else decides to do with their business and their life, when in reality, I have to let go of that. I cannot take accountability for someone else's drive. Even if I want to feel responsible, I'm not responsible for what somebody decides to do. If people want to continue working on something, they're going to work on it. If they don't want to work on it, they're not going to work on it. And I used to try to push harder than sometimes the person that I was talking to. You ever have that moment where you and a friend are pulling a wagon, but you're wondering, why does this wagon feel heavier and heavier and heavier? And you just keep walking, you keep pulling, and then you look around you and you realize your friend is sitting inside the wagon having a dirty martini. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to do that one. And I had a few, not a lot, but I had a few instances like that in my life where I had to realize I'm working harder for you than you're working for yourself. And some people might say that out loud and think that that's like a compliment or that's something to be proud of. I used to feel like, oh, that's okay. When people say those things, that's a huge compliment. I used to feel like that was okay. But now my perspective has changed once I have seen the emotional and physical toll that it takes on the person that is pulling by themselves. I've seen that in other people's lives, and I've seen how it affected my own life. So it's not okay for me now. Actually, whenever someone starts a conversation to make it seem like they're going to be relying on me to pull for them, I immediately correct them and let them know this will be their last time. Even if you don't tell me, I'm going to make it your last time. I'm not going to create a cycle or a system where I am pulling the wagon and I look up and you're sitting inside the wagon sipping on some juice. I can't do that. And there have been many cases where I had to pull myself back and I had to say, you are not accountable for somebody else's drive and you're not accountable for somebody else's decisions. And you must make decisions based off of what is right for your business, your life, and your health. And you must trust them to do the same for themselves. And you must trust that if they are struggling, that they're going to get help in the areas that they're struggling in. You are not anyone's parent. You are not anyone's keeper. And we have to kind of let go of that mentality of wanting to have like that cape, that Superwoman or Superman cape over people that are not trying to be saved and don't want to be saved and don't want to work on their dreams or don't want to work on a certain area in their life that you're trying to push them to work on. You can always be a cheerleader. You can always say, hey, I see this in you. You can always uplift people. Uplifting is free. I absolutely believe that uplifting is free. However, it is very, very important that you understand it is okay to be of assistance, but you are not an assistant. And I talked about this in our other live, and I talked about this on my Patreon account. You are not an assistant, but you can be of assistance. There's a difference. So now that I shared those, not 21, it was technically like 18 ways that you can develop a stronger mental as an entrepreneur and really build that mindset. I want to go ahead and just move into our previous updates, and then we'll prepare to go ahead and end the live. But I do want to shout out the sponsors. For anyone that wants to become a sponsor, you can join our website, become a sponsor at $40 right now. We have 8 more sponsor opportunities available if you would like to join and do that. And if you're a business owner that would like to come and be interviewed on our show and talk about your specific topic of discussion, then you want to go ahead and join us to do that. So the first thing that I want to go through is the events. I got a few entrepreneurship events that I want to share with everybody and resources. I'm just going to walk through them bullet point, and I'm going to tag, or I'm going to put the link in the comments for anyone that might want to take advantage of that. And I'll let the audience decide tonight. If you guys want to hear about my take on this whole Tyra Banks situation, let me know. I'll talk about it tonight, or I'll save it for the next show. But boy, do I have something juicy to say. I might actually have to make a separate video about that one because I don't want to, this is the Boss Babe Business Show, but I might need to put a whole separate video just so we can discuss this further. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm about to drop these website links for y'all. I want to give you the event page, but I'm not going to do that because there may be some things that change on that page. So I don't want to give you the wrong page. Hold on. Oh, well, I guess I'll just have to do it. I have to do it from my other device, y'all, because this one is acting a little funny. So let's go to my business portal. Go to bossbabeblog.com. And then right now it's on the events page. That events page may not be there. So let me just give you the direct booking link. But the first event that I want to share is a Small Business Expo. So this originally was the Boss Babe Blog Brunch. It was a virtual brunch. However, on a Saturday, I'm noticing that people want to laugh, they want to talk, they want to shop, they want to have a good time. So I wanted to create an event where you can come and sell your products or solutions on this live for 20 to 30 minutes straight on the live. There will be other entrepreneurs that join, and it is $10 to join. So if you would like to, you can go ahead and purchase your ticket, $10. If members decide they want to join this event, they will have first priority unless they're wanting to, be put on a little bit later. But if you're not a member, you can still join on. Let's see, and have your brand advertised for 20 to 30 minutes. Let me see, where is it? Here it is. Okay, Small Business Expo online nationwide room. Entrepreneurs attend this nationwide room, the expo, and have a chance to present your products and services on our platform. Platform stats available through booking links. So the first one is available on, I think it is March 7th, if I'm not mistaken. So let me just double check. Hold on. Just give me 1 second. Yep, March 2nd. So anyone that would like to join, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the comments for you. And you can come take advantage of the Small Business Expo. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Hello, Media Nosh on Instagram. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. All right. So here is the Small Business Expo. It is $10 to attend. Boom. And drop it in the comments. Anyone that might want to attend this expo, I will have the link attached. I have it up here temporarily. If you're watching on YouTube, then you can click on the link on the replay. And we will also be sharing some posts, and in our email newsletter, I'll actually have a link for everybody to go check that out. So now that we have done the Boss Babe Business Show, I have walked through all of this insight. I do want to say thank you so much to all of our supporters, subscribers, followers, members, everybody, for all the support that you have given Boss Babe Blog. And I want to shout out our wonderful sponsors. So I'm going to start off with the sponsors that are listed, but we have not got their ad yet. Shout out to Ashley S. Shout out to Deidre P. Shout out to Becky L. Shout out to Shanika H. And let's move through the rest of these sponsors this evening. The first sponsor that I want to shout out is JC Fashion Finds Boutique, style that fits your everyday and your standout moments. So this boutique, you can go and shop with them, but you can also email them at support@jcfashionfinds.com. You can also use the QR code that is attached to this flyer to go straight to their website. And you can follow them on Facebook or Instagram. They provide women's apparel and accessories. They have pre-loved items, and they have brand new items that you can purchase from their boutique. So a shout out to JC Fashion Finds Boutique. The next business that we are shouting out is Hootstop. Hootstop actually has a 60-second ad video, so I'll go ahead and play that now.
Hoot, welcome to Hootstop.com, where wellness meets design. Shop our services today for your home, office, or studio needs, as we can create anything that you envision. Hit our custom consultation and schedule an appointment today, or fill out the ad form and we'll get that started for you immediately. If you're looking for design, it's what we do here at Hootstop.com. Come and visit us. We'll see you soon. But if you can't wait, subscribe to our YouTube channel and see the artwork being made from scratch, behind the sketchbook scenes. Talk directly with me, the artist, then we do it digital, and then you already know it's getting printed on something. So start at the beginning and work your way to Hootstop.com. From YouTube to Hootstop. We got you.
Okay, and that is Hootstop. Now our next sponsor is Charlie Shops. Deals and custom gift baskets for holidays, birthdays, parties, and couples. Text to order, text 757-842-0556. Thank you, and shout out to Charlie Shops. The next place that we're going to is travelwithmj.net. We do the heavy lifting so you can travel light. Head over to travelwithmj.net if you need a travel advisor who is going to take care of you every step of the way and plan your vacation for you if that's what you're wanting. The next brand and sponsor that we're going to shout out is Bling with Shell. Shout out to Bling with Shell. You can go to paparazziaccessories.com/Bling with Shell, or you can use this QR code to go directly to her website. She provides jewelry of all levels. If you're looking for something that is quick, cute, stylish, and affordable, then you can find pieces starting at just $8. For example, the trinkets that I have on this bracelet is so pretty. Here's one. Now, if you are looking for pieces that are a little bit more, I would say, high end, that you'll be able to wear for a long period of time, and also these you can wear for a long time too. But if you're looking for like sterling silver, if you're looking for 24 karat gold, then you want to go head over to her website because she has 2 different collections that you can shop from. All right, moving on to the next business. We want to go ahead and shout out EliteHair.net. Thank you, EliteHair.net, for your sponsorship. We truly appreciate you. DFW Texas Hair Braider, taking on new clients. If you're needing your hair done, visit their website and go contact them. The next person that we are shouting out is going to be MJ's Tees and Custom Designs. Thank you very much, MJ's Tees and Custom Designs. You can call or text 229-234-2741 to build your own business swag. You can get a t-shirt, a long sleeve shirt, a sweatshirt, and a beanie with your logo on it. Or you can choose to mix and match and create your own business bundle. They have business swag apparel, custom apparel, and seasonal apparel. Shout out to MJ's Tees and Custom Designs. The next sponsor that we have is going to be Jenkins Pro Tax Software. So this is a limited time offer. Save big on professional tax software with exclusive deals. And then it says, why choose Jenkins Pro Tax Software? Built for seasoned EFIN holders, affordable without compromising quality, fast, I think it says fast. Yeah, fast, accurate, and user-friendly. Excellent support when you need it most. There you have it. And you can call or text. Let's see, what is that? 615-796-6050. All right. Thank you all so much for watching our show this evening. I hope that by listening, if you're an entrepreneur that's trying to elevate, and just continue to grow, that you took something positive from that. And if you're an entrepreneur that would like to have their brand interviewed on our next show, then you can meet us at the next Boss Babe Business Show. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll be going live a couple more times tonight because I have a few things that I want to talk about. Bye-bye.